set for the opening kickoff. Kenny Albert with Darryl Johnston and Tony Siragusa. Dallas Cowboys 5-1. They've won their last 5 games. Tampa Bay Buccaneers 3-3. Darryl just 0-2 here at home. Overtime losses to the Colts and the Panthers.
I think earlier in the year we looked at this game and we were going to find out a lot about the Dallas Cowboys, but we're also going to find out a lot about Tampa Bay this afternoon.
Derek Ross back deep for the Cowboys along with Avion Kason. Zuriel Smith inactive, not even on the trip. As Grammaticus kickoff taken at the 1 by Ross, his first kick return of the season, and he's upended at the 24-yard line. 23 yards on the return. Tim Wansley made the special teams tackle. Quincy Carter, career-high 3 touchdown passes for the Cowboys in the win over Detroit last week.
And Flozo Adams is going to play a big part today. They're going to try and help him on Simeon Rice, but there'll be times when he's going to be one-on-one with their best pass rusher.
Cowboys, the only team in the NFL with 3 receivers up over the 300-yard mark. Terry Glenn, Joey Galloway, and Antonio Bryant. Cowboys start from their own 24-yard line, and they begin with 3 wide receivers. Troy Hambrick, the lone back. And the give is to Hambrick on first down, and he gains 3 out to the 27-yard line. Greg Spires made the tackle for the Buccaneers. 11th ranked defense. Simeon Rice with 8 sacks, tied for the NFL lead. Shelton Quarles returned last week after missing the first 5 with a broken arm.
We've touched on all the changes in the secondary, but the biggest key today will be how Jermaine Phillips plays for the injured John Lynch.
Richie Anderson, the fullback, takes the handoff out to the 33-yard line. Gain of 7, stopped a yard shy of the marker. You mentioned the injuries in the secondary. Jermaine Phillips filling in for the injured John Lynch, and Tim Wansley making his first NFL start for the injured Brian Kelly, who was placed on injured reserve this week.
But when you look at this one-gap scheme that Tampa Bay plays, the key positions, the 3 technique of Warren Sapp, the weak side linebacker of Derek Brooks, and that strong safety, John Lynch's position.
Hambrick is hit for a loss on 3rd and 1. He loses a yard. Derek Brooks lost his helmet. First Buccaneer in to make the stop. So Hambrick bottled up on 3rd and short.
Well, with all the injuries in the secondary, Bill Parcells staying true to his word. He's going to come out and establish the same style of offense that has been successful for him during this 5-game winning streak. He wants to pound the ball. He wants to establish an identity. And that has always been a way that you would play against the Tampa Bay defense. But at some point today, he's going to have to get the ball down the field and take advantage of that inexperience in the secondary.
Toby Goen punting from his own 20. Tim Wansley in single safety for the Bucs. Lets it bounce. And it is down at the 35-yard line. Only a 33-yard punt by Toby Goen. Buccaneers ranked 3rd offensively in the NFL, as their offensive unit is led out by 2-time Pro Bowl quarterback Brad Johnson, tied with Brett Favre for the NFL lead. 13 touchdown passes. Roman Oben broke his hand earlier this week in practice, but he does make his 100th NFL start. Pittman and Cook in the backfield. Johnson and McCardell, the wideouts. And the tight end is Ken Dilger. 1st and 10, Bucs, 35-yard line. Pittman up the middle for a gain of 3. Roy Glover got a piece of Michael Pittman, setting up 2nd down and 7. Cowboys defense ranked 1st in the NFL. Buccaneers go to the hurry-up offense. From the 37-yard line, it's Pittman again. Out across the 40 to the 41. Stopped about 4 yards shy of the marker by Greg Ellis. 3rd and 4 upcoming.
This is a way that Tampa Bay likes to control the tempo of the game. They will come out and go with some no-huddle. They'll go on some quick counts and not allow that Dallas defense to adjust to formations, try and get them in positions where their play is going to match up better and not allow the secondary and the linebackers to get comfortable.
2 tight ends for the Bucs. 3rd down and 4. The pitch to Pittman. Michael Pittman is brought down. Gains just one. Dat Wynn made the tackle for the Cowboys, so the Bucs go 3 and out.
Oh, what a nice play by Dat Wynn. Here he is right here. Watch him run through. He's going to take out the guard. He's going to run right through Cozy Coleman and make the tackle on Michael Pittman. When that play started, it looked like they had an easy first down. Dat Wynn makes a nice play, defeating the block and making the tackle.
Tom Tupa out to punt for the Bucs. Joey Galloway, who has not returned to punt all season, back deep for the Cowboys. Galloway with 4 career punt return touchdowns early in his career with Seattle. Takes it out to 16 and steps out of bounds following a 12-yard return, 42-yard punt. No score here in Tampa.
Where we were planning our vacation online, that's when the pain started.
Digititis is a repetitive stress injury, just like carpal tunnel syndrome, except different.
Basically, it feels like a fleshy fireball on the end of my hand.
We're seeing an explosion of this with all the double clicking that's going on. If we catch this early, we can help.
Searching for a great airfare online doesn't have to be a pain. Just go to southwest.com for our $39 to $99 internet specials when you purchase by November 13th.
You're now free to move about the country. What makes Wendy's new home-style chicken strips so delicious? The strips or the sauces?
Big, all-white meat strips. They're the key. They develop the strips because of the sauces.
This chicken is so juicy, you can dip it in nothing.
Heartland Ranch, Deli Honey Mustard, or Spicy Southwest Chipotle. You call that nothing? They complete the package.
Did he just give you the complete the package line?
Those strips guys with their blonde hair and fancy suits.
Well, try Wendy's new home-style chicken strips and decide for yourself. It's better here.
A truck like this isn't built in a factory. It's built in the farms and fields, concrete streets and construction sites that map the landscape of an entire country. Because when Ford builds the new F-150, there are promises to keep. And only one truck earned the right to be the next F-150. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Friendly nonstop service all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom.
Back in Tampa, Tony Siragusa, you won a Super Bowl in this stadium. Are you feeling all warm and fuzzy today?
I'll tell you what, this is my first time back. I had the chills actually coming through the tunnel. But I was walking around on the field, a little perspiration. As you know, I'm not in my best shape right now. So someone told me to come up here to the beautiful Love Boat. I think that's the name of this place. And it's a lot cooler up here, getting a little bit of wind and feeling pretty lovable right now.
Looking lovely with those beads.
Thank you very much, guys. So exciting.
Where will we find Tony next?
Only time will tell.
Tony, of course, a member of the Ravens Super Bowl winning squad. Defeated the Giants here at Raymond James Stadium.
If he has to go downstairs to get down to the field, I think he's going to be in that boat the rest of the afternoon.
They take the boat down. From the 28, Troy Hambrick. Gain of 2 out to the 30. Ryan Neese in on the tackle. So the Cowboys have run on all 4 of their offensive plays.
Well, they weren't going to change their philosophy, but at some point you have to look at a weakness and find out if it is a weakness. Find out if these guys in the secondary that are playing out of position or playing for the first couple times starting a football game are ready for the challenge, because Joey Galloway, Antonio Bryant, and Terry Glenn, you saw in the pregame show, that is as strong a group of 3 wide receivers as you'll find in the NFL.
Hambrick across the 35, first down out to the 45-yard line as he ran right up the gut for a gain of 15 yards as we check in for the first time with Chris Rose in Los Angeles. Chris?
All right, Kenny, we have our first touchdown of the day. Matt Hasselbeck, 4 of 5 for 74 yards on the opening drive. This one covers 46 yards of real estate to Atula Mealy. And the Seahawks, 5-1. They're up 7-zip in the Queen City. Back to Kenny, Darrell, and Tony.
All right, Chris. Chris handling the duties out west today with JB and the boys in Pittsburgh, watching the Rams and the Steelers. 6th consecutive running play, and this time Hambrick gains only 1. Jermaine Phillips came up to make the stop, setting up 2nd down and 9.
Well, some of the formations that we have seen from the Dallas Cowboys over the last few weeks, you will know that they're going to come out and run the football. This is going back to the old power I in college. Here's Dan Campbell, your tight end, Richie Anderson, your fullback. There's no hiding what they're trying to do now. The big thing is, let's get into that same look and throw some play action off it. You've come out, you've been pounding the ball. Eventually, we've got to test this secondary, use some play action off of some of the looks we've already shown you.
Now 3 wide receivers. Off the play fake on 2nd and 9. Carter over the middle, complete to Anderson in Buccaneers territory, brought down at the Tampa Bay 49, gain of 5. It'll be 3rd down and 4 for the Cowboys.
And I think that's an area where Quincy Carter has matured the most. He's not trying to force plays. He's starting to understand not only the game of football a little bit more, but the plan that Maurice Carthon, Sean Payton, and Bill Parcells are trying to execute during the game. He's going to check the ball down. He's not going to make the critical mistake that turns the ball over or gives the opposition a short field.
And there is Sean Payton, assistant head coach and quarterbacks coach for the Cowboys. On 3rd and 4, play action as Carter hits Anderson once again, and he stopped a yard shy of a 1st down. Brought down at the 46-yard line by Ryan Neese. So it will be a 4th down and about a ½ yard.
And that was great Tampa Bay Bucs defense right there. The things that they do best, the discipline in the scheme, the speed of not only the linebackers, but also the defensive line. Greg Spires in position on the bootleg, doesn't allow Quincy to get out and really force the corner. And then when the ball is thrown, the pursuit to the ball. The one thing they did not have last week against San Francisco was a lot of pursuit to the ball.
Carl Williams back deep for the Bucs. Toby Goins' 2nd punt. Fair catch called for at the 15-yard line by Williams. 31-yard punt by Goins.
Real man of genius.
Bud Light salutes you, Mr. Really Bad Toupee Wearer.
Mr. Really Bad Toupee Wearer.
You think it looks natural, but it couldn't look phonier if it had a chin strap.
Look at you.
Made of space-age fibers, it can repel anything. Rain, wind, snow, and especially young women.
I don't think so.
So make it a Bud Light, mister. And here's another for that thing on your head.
Whether they wear a tool belt or a necktie, SBC's nearly 170,000 employees, many of them 3rd generation, are just working people, working their tails off, just so you can get on the phone and ask what's for dinner, or say ship 5,000 widgets to my warehouse. Most people take the old dial tone for granted. We don't. We can't. Ordinary people, extraordinary job. SBC, going beyond the call.
We didn't just give the new Ford F-150 more horsepower. We gave it the most low-end torque. Why did we push farther than anyone else? So you could do more than anyone else. Only this truck earned the right to be the next F-150. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
NFL Sundays, brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Fans having a good time here in Tampa. Buccaneers and Cowboys scoreless midway through the 1st quarter. Bucs start with an empty backfield from their own 15-yard line. And now Aaron Stecker shifting into the backfield. On 1st down, play action. Brad Johnson to the air for the first time. And the pass caught by Michael Pittman for a gain of 4, wrapped up immediately by Dan Wynn.
One of the things that Coach Parcells was worried about was the ability of this offense to expand and contract. They came out with an empty set with wide receivers and running backs spread out throughout the formation. Now they'll contract back into a more traditional set. What they're trying to do is trying to confuse the defense and also find out which personnel group and what formation they will go to a basic scheme against. You see them here. They came in contracted. Now they've expanded back out.
Second down and 6, empty backfield. Johnson's pass was behind the intended receiver, Keenan McCardell, former Buck linebacker Al Singleton on the coverage.
And what they're trying to search for is what formation, what personnel group did Dallas not really prepare for this week, and all of a sudden will jump into a base package. Once they find that matchup out, then John Gruden will exploit that package with his full complement of plays he can call from that set. But the only problem is, I think Bill Parcells prepares for everything during the course of the week. So that might be a futile search.
Now the Bucs have all 3 wide receivers split to the left. Johnson on 3rd and 6. Pass was deflected at the line. And the Buccaneers forced to punt once again.
He is a much different quarterback when he feels the pressure around him. If you allow him to stand in the pocket untouched, he will pick you apart down the field and hit big plays as the game goes on. The Dallas defensive line and linebackers in their pressure package, if they don't get the sack, just let Brad Johnson know that you were real close on that play, and he'll start to throw some incompletes.
Buccaneers go 3 and out for the second time. Tom Tupa back at his own 5. Went to the Pro Bowl back in '99, punted for Bill Parcells with the New York Jets. End over end. And Galloway lets it bounce out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
There are 3 simple words to describe Ford Explorer. First, most, best. First in class with independent rear suspension. Most third-row passenger room, and the most trusted SUV 11 years running. Ford Explorer, the best-selling SUV in America, period. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Applebee's Take 2 is back.
One can have a dream, baby. 2 can make that dream so. Take 2, baby. Make a dream come true.
Applebee's Take 2.
Just take 2.
Choose 2 of your favorite entrees for 1 mouth-watering plate.
Eating good in the neighborhood. Looking so long at these pictures of you. You never hold on to your heart. Looking so long for the words to be true. Always just breaking my pictures of you.
Welcome to HP Digital Photography. HP, invent.
Premiere of 24, Fox Tuesday, presented without commercial interruption by the next Ford F-150.
Back in Tampa, Cowboys and Buccaneers still scoreless, 6.5 remaining in quarter number 1.
Looks as though both teams are trying to feel each other out, find that soft spot. It has become a defensive battle, which we both thought. Both of these teams playing a one-gap scheme. Mike Zimmer actually stealing some of Monty Kiffin's secrets.
Richard Anderson. Greg Spires right there, no game.
We've talked about the one-gap defense. Everybody in this defense has a gap, and you have to stay in that gap. You have to play your responsibility. John Lynch will drift down into this formation. That is his gap right there. But what you're going to see happen is when you lose gap control, like right here, 94 and 47 both go into that same gap, the ball will always find its way back to the spot where the man is out of position. The most important thing here, John Lynch, look at him as he turns around right there. He was in proper position. It was actually Greg Spires who got into the wrong inside gap.
And that, of course, from last week's game between the Buccaneers and the 49ers. Play action on 2nd and 10, and Carter's pass is caught. And then lost the handle. It's ruled down. Was ruled down at the 45-yard line, so Dwight Smith will have to bring it all the way back. Play was blown dead at the Tampa Bay 44.
Tampa Bay thrives on taking the ball away from the opposition's offense. You have got to finish the play in this situation.
Now, if he was ruled down by contact, it is not reviewable.
The ruling on the field is a completed pass and down by contact.
And that could not be challenged, Darryl.
We've got the red flag out. John Gruden threw the flag. They will pick that up and give it back to him because he cannot challenge this play. Once it's ruled down by contact, it is unreviewable. Dwight Smith comes in on the hit. There you can see Joey Galloway's knee is down. The play is over. He takes the ball at that point. Good call by the officials.
John Gruden threw the flag, but that is not reviewable once the official rules down by contact.
Challenging the ruling on the field that the receiver caught the ball. We'll review the play.
So you can review whether or not the catch was made, but
Tampa Bay will not be able to get the ball in this situation. It is either going to be a first down for the Cowboys. It will be 3rd and 10 for the Cowboys. So all they're looking at in this situation is whether Joey Galloway actually made the catch, not whether Dwight Smith took the ball away from him.
Now the ball never touched the ground, so I don't know in what instance the officials will be able to say that it's not a catch because the ball never hit the ground.
Well, once Joey Galloway's knee touches the ground, the play is over. So if he has possession at that point, then the officials will rule it a catch. If they cannot determine whether he had complete control of the catch when his knee was down, they will go with the call on the field. So this is Dallas has got, there's his knee on the ground. The ball comes loose afterwards. I think the officials will rule this a completed pass.
So the question is not whether Dwight Smith wrestled the ball away from Galloway because Galloway was ruled down by contact, and that is not challengeable or reviewable. But once John Gruden threw the flag initially, the red flag, he then asked Bill Carollo to check out whether or not Galloway had possession. But because the ball never hit the ground, because Smith took it away after Galloway's knee was down, I don't see any way that they can rule this an incomplete pass.
The one thing being down here on the sideline, guys, is the whistle never blew. And I think that's a little bit of why Tampa's a little upset about the whole play. You didn't hear any whistles of the play being dead.
But Tony wants Carollo down by contact, even if he did not actually blow the whistle. In Carollo's mind, Galloway was down by contact.
And Bob Wagner, the back judge, walked in and marked the ball down at that point. And that's why you have to finish the play. You can't, if you don't hear the whistle, if you see the defender all of a sudden going down the sideline, and Dallas was very late to react. The offensive players were very late to react to that situation.
Remember, there must be indisputable visual evidence that Galloway did not have control for this to be ruled an incomplete pass. John Gruden awaiting the interpretation from Bill Carollo. Darryl, I agree with you. I would be shocked if this is overturned.
It seemed as he had possession when his knee was on the ground, and for that point on, the play is dead right there. Whatever happens beyond that point, and that looked as that was the time that Dwight Smith pulled the ball out of Joey Galloway's possession.
After reviewing the play, it has been determined the receiver went up, caught the ball never hit the ground, and that's what was challenged, whether the ball hit the ground or not. Joint possession is not a reviewable play, only if it was an incomplete pass. Therefore, the ruling stands in the field, a completion, first down.
fans don't like it, but you and I certainly agree with Bill Carollo.
And then the big thing, what was he challenging joint possession, which is unreviewable, and that was an area that we really weren't even thinking that John Gruden had thought, because looking at the replays, it appeared that Joey Galloway had the possession, the knee went down, and then Dwight Smith pulled the ball from his arms.
So the Buccaneers lose a timeout. They lose a challenge. And the ball certainly never hit the ground.
And now on this series, for the first time in the game, the Dallas Cowboy offense is starting to go down the field in their passing game. They came out the first two series, all running plays, but now they're starting to use some of those same formations and those same actions in their play-action game. And that is the area that they are most dangerous. That is where Quincy Carter throws the ball the best, is off-play action, on the move, bootlegs, and different things like that.
Quincy Carter now 3 for 3. To the air on first down, and the pass is short. Intended for Joey Galloway. Simeon Rice got a piece of it at the line.
Troy Hambrick does a real nice job. He's the tailback right here. They're running play action. Watch, he's going to come out. He is on Simeon Rice. Everything's going to turn away. He's going to be out there on an island. They're going to have a lot of people coming at Simeon Rice, but it's going to be Troy Hambrick who is responsible. Does a good job, hangs on, keeps him from getting into the quarterback. They will do a number of different things to keep Simeon off guard and off balance all afternoon.
3 wide receivers on second and 10. Hambrick gains just 1. Setting up a third down and 9, but first we check in with Chris Rose in Los Angeles.
All right, Kenny, the Giants have been stuffed in recent weeks. Last 2 games, just 6 points total in the first half, but here they get 7 on their opening drive. Terry Collins to Ike Hilliard. They're up 7-3 on the unbeaten Vikings. And in Pittsburgh, 1,000th game in Steelers history, but it's Pittsburgh native Mark Bulger lighting it up. 36 yards to Torrey Holden's 4th straight game with a TD. Back to Kenny, Moose, and Tony down in Tampa.
Chris, 4th down and 9. Cowboys have to get to the 33 for a first down. Carter steps up and then dumps it off to Troy Hambrick. And Hambrick, terrific second effort, picks up the first down on 3rd and 9. Hambrick gains 11.
Oh, what a great effort by Troy Hambrick, and a smart play by Quincy Carter. He's got nothing open downfield. They're going to run a play action. Give the Tampa Bay Buccaneers some other things to worry about, but watch as he looks. He's looking downfield. There's nothing there. Give your player an opportunity to make a play, and here comes the missed tackles again. Ryan Neese is right there to stop that short of a first down, and Troy Hambrick moves inside, gets enough yardage to keep those chains moving.
Troy Hambrick grew up in South Florida. Has 50 friends and family members at the game today. 1st and 10 from the 32. Carter rolling right. And the pass caught at the 26-yard line by Terry Glenn for a gain of 5. Glenn coming off his first 3-touchdown performance last week in the 38-7 win over the Lions.
He has been a great addition. You talk to the people that have come to this organization this year. Terry Glenn, Dan Campbell, Richie Anderson. Those are the guys that everybody was talking about that have made an impact on this offense. A lot of the guys were starters at some point before Bill Parcells got there, but he added some key pieces to the puzzle. Terry Glenn, Richie Anderson, and Dan Campbell being the ones that people talk the most about.
Campbell coming over from the Giants. Richie Anderson, the longtime Jet. Here's Hambrick down to the 22-yard line, gain of 4. Stopped about a yard shy of the first down.
Dallas continuing to keep the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense off balance. And one of the things, you've got Jason Witten right there going up against Simeon Rice. They will give him a lot of looks. That's a heck of a job right there by Jason Witten. One-on-one with Simeon Rice. And that's what they want to do. You want to run at a guy who's a speed guy. You don't want to run the other way against Simeon Rice because of his ability to chase things down from behind along the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 1. Hambrick. Looks like he was stopped about a yard shy. Rondé Barber along with Nate Webster.
2 critical short yardage plays so far, and the Dallas offense has been stuffed. Here's going to come your pressure. Rondé Barber off the outside, filling it in. You've got everybody hitting that gap. They had penetration, but in 2 critical plays early in this football game, we've had the Dallas Cowboys in short yardage, and they have come away with nothing. The negative running plays have been one of their Achilles heels all season long.
So Billy Cundiff, who's hit 12 in a row, out to attempt a 41-yard field goal. Well, he had hit 12 in a row. Cundiff missing from 41. We remain scoreless here in Tampa.
You gotta stop right there. Good girl.
Today, I'm giving my daughter her first driving lesson. I'm Howard Simpson, auto insurance expert for Liberty Mutual. Teenagers are more likely to have an accident than anyone else. That's why I volunteer to teach kids road safety long before they get their license.
Let's go, let's go.
Whether it's teaching kids in high school or training professionals, we do whatever it takes to make roads safer.
Liberty Mutual. It's more than insurance. It's insurance in action.
You're never too old to learn.
I've made a lot of news on the baseball diamond, but if you want to find out about this diamond, you've got to go talk to your doctor.
Ready to try Viagra for the first time? See your doctor and find out if a free sample is right for you.
My doctor says it's right for me. That's why I stay with it. For more information, go to Viagra.com.
We engineered a material behind the dash called quiet steel. Only the new Ford F-150 has it, which means it's the only truck to deliver this. The sound of quality. The sound of the quietest pickup, period. Only this truck earned the right to be the next F-150. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Fox NFL Sundays brought to you by the next Ford F-150. Built Ford tough. By Circuit City, we're with you. By HP. HP Technology Services and people help make more things more possible. And by Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar. Eating good in the neighborhood. Applebee's.
Welcome back to Tampa. Kenny Albert, Darrell Johnston, Tony Siragusa. Tony, you've made your way down off the pirate ship.
I'm back down here on the field where it's about 100 degrees. Sweating a little bit. You know, talking about that last drive as far as the Dallas Cowboys, I got a chance to talk to Maurice Carthon, the offense coordinator who I had a chance to play with when I was with the Colts, and he says what he wants to do as an offense coordinator is get a lot of reps to try and wear down the Tampa defense. And even though they didn't get any points out of that last series, I think he's accomplishing what he wants to do. He's wearing them down a little bit. I see them a little sluggish out here.
And that's something the Cowboys have been able to do, Darrell. Second in the league in time of possession.
And Maurice Carthon had to go against this Tampa Bay defense twice a year when he was in Detroit. And that has always been the plan coming in. Pound the football in the first half, wear down that undersized, quick defensive front, and then take your shots in the second half.
2nd down and 7. Buccaneers have gone 3 and out each of their first 2 possessions from the 34. Johnson looking for McCardell. So it will be 3rd and 7 for the Bucs.
Dallas on the sideline going over some of the things that Tony's talking about right there. And one of the things that they're going to have to do, they're going to have to start getting to that second level. And the big area of concern right now has to be the short yardage. I mean, they've had the opportunities to sustain drives. It leads to a missed field goal on that last one. And although they are wearing Tampa Bay down, you have to take advantage of every opportunity when you play this team.
3 wide receivers, 3rd and 7. Bucs have to get to the 41. Johnson in trouble. He lost the football.
Kenyon Coleman just missed a great opportunity to give his team a chance for a short field. Greg Ellis continues to work, gets the hand on him, knocks the ball loose. Now watch 93, Kenyon Coleman right there. Fall on it. Don't try and pick it up and run with it. Fall on the ball. Give your team an opportunity. You see that ball on the ground. You've got to secure the ball first. He's thinking about running right now, and he doesn't get the ball secured. Another opportunity missed by the Dallas Cowboys. A missed field goal and now a chance for a short field.
Instead, Buccaneers will punt. Cooper's 3rd punt. Takes a bucket Buccaneers roll out of bounds at the 29-yard line.
The praise that Mazda 6 has received for applying sports car engineering to a sedan will appeal to all sorts of people. For the safety conscious, the highest government safety rating. For the consumer-minded, the highest-rated midsize sedan among owners. And 50 international awards for the speed readers. The Mazda 6. Now get 0.0% APR financing for 5 years or $2,000 cash back on selected 2003 Mazda 6 models.
If on one hand you have half the carbs of Bud Light, and on the other the gold medal winner of the World Beer Cup, then you have a Miller Lite in each hand. Lucky you. Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling.
It's not just the advanced technology or the world's best blades. It's the way it's all put together. No razor shaves better than Mach 3 Turbo. It's the world's best shave. We guarantee it or your money back. Mach 3 Turbo from Gillette.
Okay, so we've picked out the TV, the surround sound, and you already have the DVD player. Right. Okay, so my home theater question to you is this. Do you have a movie where stuff blows up?
It's all here. Circuit City has all your favorite DVDs, all at great low prices. And we're the first place to go for new releases every Tuesday. Like Hulk Special Edition, a 2-disc DVD set for just $15.99. Circuit City, we're with you.
Access NFL.com to vote for your favorite NFL All-Stars. The Pro Bowl ballot is online exclusively at NFL.com.
10 seconds remaining first quarter here in Tampa. Well, to stop a weapon that has no cure, you need a man who knows no limits. Tuesday, Kiefer Sutherland returns with a new season of 24, presented without commercial interruption by the next Ford F-150. The season premiere of 24, Tuesday, right here on Fox. Darryl, we talked about time of possession. Cowboys second in the league so far today. They've had the ball 10 minutes. Buccaneers under 5.
But it's what you do with the ball when you have it for that amount of time. And right now it's 0-0. It hasn't paid any dividends for the Cowboys.
Cowboys missed a 41-yard field goal on their last drive. They start from their own 29. Hambrick loses a yard on first down, and that will do it for the first quarter here in Tampa. Cowboys and Buccaneers are scoreless. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages.
Introducing the all-new rotary-powered Mazda RX-8.
Jack?
The way you feel about sports cars will never be the same.
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
It was fast. We made it faster. It was smart. We made it smarter. Until it was as close to perfect as it's ever come. And that's saying something. Introducing the new, more powerful ES330. At your local Lexus dealer today.
Look again. Look again.
It's truck season, and your local Southern Ford dealers have just announced an additional $750 bonus cash on all 2003 pickups. Now get $4,750 total cash back or choose 0% APR for 72 months plus $1,750 bonus cash on Ranger. Visit your local Southern Ford dealer today and register to win one of 8 guitars signed by Toby Keith.
On the season premiere of That 70s Show, find out who Jackie chooses. You love her, man. Were you doing Jackie? Yes. That 70s Show season premiere at 8 this Wednesday on Fox.
We get set for the second quarter here in Tampa. Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Saragusa. Cowboys and Bucks are scoreless. Darryl, we asked Bill Parcells yesterday if he's surprised at the Cowboys' 5-1 start. He said, I didn't know what to expect.
He said his biggest fear was starting out 1-5, but his second biggest fear was starting out 5-1. So I think he's always felt that there was more talent with the Dallas Cowboy football team than he expected. Now he's just adjusting. He's got to now raise his expectations for this team.
There's Hamrick on 2nd and 10, losing a yard. Rondé Barber coming up from the right corner.
So far this afternoon, we're seeing the defense played the way we always see Tampa Bay play it. Speed to the ball, pursuit. Last week against San Francisco, look at some of the things that happened. The most yards allowed, the most rushing yards allowed, the longest play. Big plays are something that doesn't happen here. So areas that they have been successful in and year out. They struggled last week against the 49ers. And you could look at the Indianapolis Colts game and find an area, or the Carolina game. But last week, they were just flat out beat.
Gennaro DiNapoli, the Cowboys center, is down.
We got a problem up here. Tower 12, weather's moving it.
Heading up.
Do you have the right truck? Does your truck have a Duramax diesel? Does it have an Allison transmission? Silverado. It's the right truck from Chevy. The most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
We're going to go out there and win, right? Right. We're Bears! Yes. And what are Bears?
Hungry!
Yeah.
You guys hungry?
Yeah. So let's go out there and beat them! Go, go, go!
Oops. Spotting the hungriest player is easier than you think. Go to Snickers.com and vote for the Snickers Hungriest Player of the Game. Each week you could win a free Snickers bar or even a trip to the Super Bowl.
Hey, how'd you guys get in here?
Hungry? Grab a Snickers.
Somebody's got to feel this! 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 Feel this! Feel this!
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Chevy Silverado. It's the right truck. By Taco Bell, think outside the bun. By Visa, if you love the NFL, it's everywhere you want to be. And by Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Cold down easy.
Cowboys rotate their centers by quarter. Gennaro DiNapoli injured on his first play, so Matt Lair, who played the entire first quarter, comes right back in.
Good to have a guy that's changing positions, so you're not down to a guy who's not used to playing on Sunday afternoons. But with this heat today, I'm sure that they'd like to be able to have that rotation still in place.
3rd down and 11. Cowboys have to get to the 39 for a first down. Carter with time, and the pass is intercepted by Jermaine Phillips. Phillips making just his 3rd NFL start in place of the injured John Lynch. He was a teammate of Quincy Carter at the University of Georgia, Darryl. In fact, he was one of his wide receivers.
Well, he used to say that he threw the ball to Jermaine Phillips at Georgia, but I don't think he wanted to be throwing the ball to him this afternoon. And Jermaine Phillips plays that play great. It's a double move. He does not bite on it at all. Quincy Carter throws it to the spot. Jermaine Phillips breaks across Joey Galloway's face to make the interception. Again, the discipline of the defense. You can see from that angle, Quincy Carter's got to get that ball out in front of Joey Galloway a little bit more and let him run underneath the ball. He gets it back where Joey's got to wait on it. That gives Jermaine Phillips enough time to get back into the play and make the interception.
So it's not the first time Phillips has caught a ball thrown by Quincy Carter as Pittman takes it inside the 20. Gain of 5 after Phillips returned the interception, 41 yards.
And one of the areas that Bill Parcells wants to see how his team responds is to adversity on the road. They did a great job on Monday night versus the Giants, hanging in there and winning that game on overtime. But he's still not convinced. He wants to see what this group will do. They've got an opportunity to prove something right here on the defensive side of the ball by holding them to a field goal or actually taking the ball away in the red zone.
Second down and 5. Michael Pittman inside the 15, inside the 10, down to the 4-yard line. First down and more as Pittman gains 15 yards.
You watch him on film, and he is running so hard. You're not going to bring him down. One guy cannot bring him down. That's why you've got to get people to the ball. Great blocking up front. You see the seam right there. It gets picked by the official, but look at the vision, the ability to anticipate Terrence Newman coming across, spins back against the grain. You got to get guys around the football when Michael Pittman is running.
And Darryl, that was the first down for the Buccaneers today. From the 4, Pittman pulls his way down to the 1-yard line before he was tackled by Leonardo Carson. And Warren Sapp coming in on offense along with Anthony McFarland. As we have seen on occasion earlier this season in similar situations.
Well, they are a very athletic defensive front, so John Gruden not afraid to use that athletic ability on the goal line, and they're not just coming in to block. We've already seen Warren Sapp catch a touchdown pass this year.
Darian Barnes in at fullback. And penalty markers on second and goal.
Oh, what a huge penalty right there. Huge penalty. I think we'll see Warren Sapp and Anthony McFarland going back to the sideline.
92, offense. Simulating the start of the play, 5-yard penalty. Still
it is
second down.
McFarland who costs the Bucs 5 yards.
He had his opportunity to get in there. Might have been a little bit excited. It's actually Anthony McFarland that has illegal procedure. So off they come. I don't think you want those guys in there at the 7. More inside the 3-yard line type guys.
Mentioned Sapp with a touchdown earlier this season in Atlanta. He's caught 2 passes this year. Sapp and McFarland back to the sidelines. Second and goal from the 6. Johnson looking for Keenan McCardell, incomplete.
Trying to run a little stop fade on the outside. Keenan McCardell against Mario Edwards, and that play is so difficult to defend if you've had the opportunity to rep it between wide receiver and quarterback. Just a little out of sync right there. Keenan McCardell is going to come off the ball. Look like he's running a fade to the end zone, and then he's going to stop and come back to the pylon. Mario Edwards does a nice job in coverage.
Darryl now 3rd and goal. Coming into the game, Buccaneers with the top red zone offense in the NFL. 11 touchdowns and 14 trips inside the 20. Johnson, McCardell along the goal line, made the catch, but he was wrapped up by Terrence Newman. Just inches away, and here comes Sapp and McFarland once again.
Watch Brad Johnson hang in the pocket, and he makes an incredible throw because he's got everything breaking down in front of him. He's got guys hanging as he's getting hit, and look at that fit. There are 3 Dallas defenders. That is a high-risk, low-reward throw. Brad Johnson finds a way to get it in there to Keenan McCardell.
But Darryl, 4th and goal. Sapp and McFarland back in on offense.
Well, Michael Pittman jumped now.
Wow. 4 flags.
Oh, John Gruden's going to be going crazy.
32, offense, similar to the start of the play. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
So on 2nd and goal, McFarland moved early, and now on 4th and goal, it's Pittman.
Your coach rolls the dice. He's going to give you a shot to go for it on 4th down, a chance to really steal all the momentum in this game. And a lack of concentration by Michael Pittman. And it goes back to the things that everybody's been talking about. During the losses this year for Tampa Bay, usually a very disciplined, very assignment-straight team has really struggled in things that are within their control.
And now Martin Gramatica, who has not attempted a field goal the last 2 games. He has not made a field goal the last 3 games. This is a 24-yard attempt. Gramatica now 4 for 8 on the season. But the penalty called on Pittman on 4th and goal cost the Buccaneers a potential 4 points.
Infrastructure.
millions of miles of voice and data lines out there. Who maintains all that? Well, in a large part of this country, SBC does. Why SBC? Seemed only right since we built it in the first place. Whatever it takes, period. SBC. Going beyond the call.
Taco Bell's Zesty Chicken Bowl. Grilled all-white meat chicken, seasoned rice, cheese, lettuce, and Fiesta salsa. Made right when you order it. For a fresh taste, it's hard to top. Show off. For fresh-made taste, think outside the bun.
Bring home the DVD and video so incredible, they'll take your breath away. It's hugely entertaining and way cool. Walt Disney Pictures presents a Pixar Animation Studios film, Finding Nemo. Own it on DVD and video November 4th.
Do you have the right truck?
Hi. Black coffee to go.
Does your truck have better resale value than Ford and Dodge? A Silverado half-ton pickup does.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, is this your truck?
What's it going for? What do you mean, what's it going for?
Let me make you an offer.
It's not for sale.
Leave it here. It's for sale.
It's not for sale.
Silverado. It's the right truck from Chevy.
How do you choose between your family and your heart?
As much as she loves that boy, she gave him up because she loves you more.
Critics are calling Skin sizzling.
I hate lying to my parents. It's not a lie. It's love.
You do not turn your back on your mother and me.
Get into Skin. All new at 9, 8 Central this Monday on Fox.
Warren Sapp out for 2 plays on offense along with Anthony McFarland, but the Buccaneers penalized in both instances.
You know he's having a talk with both Anthony McFarland and Michael Pittman. Hey, you know that he's excited to get in there and possibly have a chance to have his number called.
But the Buccaneers do score first. 24-yard Dramatica field goal. Ross takes it out from 5 yards deep. Derek Ross on the return. And a good one out to the 27th. 32-yard return by Ross. Cowboys back on offense in a moment.
Where's my father? Your father is in the 14th century. We need you to help us get him back. Let's do it.
The ultimate rescue will begin. And the future will hang in the balance.
You got 650 years of knowledge on these guys? History will change.
From the author of Jurassic Park. Go now! And the director of Lethal Weapon, Paul Walker. Timeline, rated PG-13. Starts November 26th everywhere.
Hey, Donovan! Surprise!
It's not my yard.
Oops. If you really want tickets to the game, just use your Visa. It's the card you know they'll take everywhere you want to be. Visa.
Hey, you!
Proud sponsor of the NFL.
Fox NFL Sundays brought to you by Cadillac. Bold vehicles defying convention.
Back in Tampa, Warren Sapp, 2 chances in offense. Buccaneers penalized both times, Tony.
When Michael Pittman jumped offsides that last time, Warren Sapp was as mad as I've ever seen him. I'm willing to bet everything that I had that he was going to be the guy to get that ball. Being an athletic guy as he is, most defensive linemen, you only get so many shots in the NFL to score touchdowns, and that was one shot that he missed.
Would you be willing to bet that shirt you're wearing?
No, it's anything but the shirt.
Defensive linemen are the go-to guys in 4th and goal.
All right, Cowboys start from their own 28. Play action, Carter in trouble. Down he goes. Anthony McFarland First sack of the season.
Well, Warren Sapp gets a lot of the credit on this defensive line, but sometimes I think Anthony McFarland is overshadowed. He's going to account for people. They keep working him. His helmet's gone, and he's back in pursuit. But Anthony McFarland is one of the steadiest guys in this defensive front, and you'll hear Simeon Rice's name called a lot, and Derek Brooks and Warren Sapp. But I tell you, number 92, play after play, down after down, is wreaking havoc.
Second down and 12. Out to the 29-yard line, Richie Anderson. Tony, you were telling us yesterday you think Warren Sapp is actually underrated.
Let me tell you something. When we went to the Super Bowl in the year 2000, I studied Warren Sapp, every sack that he made. And there was no player in the NFL that I've ever seen, Lawrence Taylor or anybody, that was more dominating than Warren Sapp was the year before and that year. Now, as far as what he's doing now, might have changed up a little bit, but that guy is definitely a force to be reckoned with.
All right, Tony, he's gone to the last 6 Pro Bowls from the 29. Carter complete out at the 34-yard line, but Tim Wansley was right there to make the tackle on Terry Glenn. So the Cowboys will punt it away.
And you didn't want a 3-and-out right there by that Dallas Cowboy offense. They had the turnover. Their defense came in, held the Buccaneers offense to a field goal, but they needed to come out and do something to give that defense a break. It's a warm afternoon today, so much so that Bill Parcells, for the first time this year, activated 8 defensive linemen. He wants to keep that rotation, but this defense is not used to being on the field as long as it could be today if this offense doesn't get on track.
Now Buccaneers rotating their punt return men. We saw Wansley and then Carl Williams. Now Wansley getting another chance from the 14. Looks to cut to the outside and is tackled at the 21 by Dexter Coakley. 51-yard punt, 7 on the return.
What's the party for? We just finished our Active Directory rollout. We created a single AD forest and consolidated 70 domains to 4. With group policy, new Salesforce apps deploy in a day instead of weeks. It's going to save us over $2 million a year.
With new Windows Server 2003, you can do more with less.
And slide!
Did we make a beer with 1/3 less carbs than Coors Light taste good? No. We made it taste great. Miller Lite. Great taste. Less filling.
Stronger. More comfortable. Guaranteed. Wrangler 5-star premium quality denim. Wrangler. Real comfortable jeans.
I'm loving it. Playing Monopoly. I'm hanging with my crew now. Look at me. I'm not just a winner. I'm making history. Oh, yeah. Picking up the cash. I'm a legend, baby. My song's a smash. At every game I touch, I'm a champion. I'm just too much, y'all. Here's another layer. I order fries and want a DVD player. Like winning, play Monopoly. Best chance game at McDonald's.
I'm loving it. You're the one who destroyed this family, Jimmy.
Oh, I know that look.
Critics call it a must-see. The OC.
I would never do anything to hurt Marissa.
Returning Wednesday on Fox.
On the pregame show today, you heard Joey Galloway say he's never seen a player improve more in one season than Quincy Carter has from last year to this year, and that's one of the reasons right there. Sean Payton has done a great job with Quincy, along with Maurice Carthon, and I think you're starting to see it now. He's starting to get the confidence, and once you have a quarterback who's confident in the plan, confident in his abilities, he's going to do some things that he hasn't done in his career up until that point.
And Quincy Carter told us yesterday he's seen what Terry Collins has been able to do past couple of years under Sean Payton. He said that Payton gives him such confidence as Pittman takes it out across the 25 to the 26, gain of 4. Buccaneers, Darryl, with only 1 first down so far. And we are 6.5 minutes into the second quarter. Cowboys have allowed the fewest first downs in the NFL.
Well, this is a group that doesn't really get a lot of credit because of the improvement on the offensive side of the ball and what those wide receivers have done. They're getting a lot of the attention, but this group has been solid for years. Monty Kiffin actually praised defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer on the job that he has done utilizing his own system with the Dallas Cowboys personnel.
Mike Zimmer, a holdover from the Dave Campbell regime. McCardell picks up the Bucs' second first down of the day. Well, Maurice Carthon was the only coach who had worked with Bill Parcells previously. The others were either already in Dallas or brought in having not worked with Parcells in the past.
And he's been complimentary across the board of his staff. You know, he came in with a lot of unknowns, but you know, he has been very pleased not only with the personnel on the team, but also the staff that was assembled. As you pointed out, a lot of guys that he did not know. He's become big fans of the way they have coached and taught his players this season.
Flea flicker, Pittman, back to Brad Johnson, wide open. The tight end, Ken Dilger. Dilger inside the Cowboys 20, 48-yard pass play on the flea flicker from Johnson to Dilger.
And that's what happens when you are undisciplined in your assignment. Ken Dilger does a nice job of selling it. Darren Woodson bites up on the fake. But how many times do you see a flea flicker designed around a tight end? That is the reason why plays are successful. You do things that are uncharacteristic. You hand the ball off to Michael Pittman, you throw it back to Brad Johnson, but number 85, Ken Dilger, your tight end, is your big play guy.
Buccaneers had gained 36 yards on offense up until that point. Dilger gained 48 as Pittman bottled up after a short gain.
It's all about taking advantages of the opportunities, and you will set up a play, you will wait and watch how the defense is playing until you feel that that play has an opportunity for success. And as we've seen these teams kind of feel each other out here during the first half, at some point John Gruden must have saw something, and he got one over the top of Mike Zimmer's group.
Buccaneers in the red zone for the second time, held to a field goal due to a couple of penalties. Under 6 minutes remaining, second quarter, 3-0 Tampa Bay. Pittman. Inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line, brought down by Willie Blaine.
It's just so much fun to watch both sides of the ball on defense and watch how these guys fly to the ball carrier. And one of the things that happens is number one, you're going to have an opportunity to recover the football if there's a fumble, and it doesn't help or it doesn't hurt you to have your own guy on the other side. Keenan McCardell actually might have gotten credit for that tackle, but Monty Kiffin was disappointed last week with his group. You'll see it today from both of them, and we're seeing it with Dallas because it's a similar system. Pursuit to the ball. Good things happen when you have a lot of guys around the ball carrier.
Buccaneers 0 for 4 today on third down. Johnson off the fingertips of the intended receiver, Keenan McCardell. Tampa Bay now 0 for 5 on third down as John Gruden sends out the field goal unit.
And they're continuing to get pressure on Brad Johnson, make him feel uncomfortable in the pocket, and it's an area that the Dallas defense has really improved at. Over the last couple of seasons, they don't still have that dominant pass rusher, but all of the guys, because they're playing a more aggressive downhill style of defense on the front line, very solid across the board.
Martin Gramatica hit from 24 earlier. This a 32-yard attempt from the left hash. Tom Tupa, the holder. Gramatica now 2 for 2, but there is a flag. There is a penalty marker.
Going to have running into the kicker on Terrence Newman. 4th and 5 up on the scoreboard. This will be interesting. It'll all come down to the spot. Hornsett might get his chance, Tony, on 4th down again.
I know he's praying.
He's halfway out onto the field.
Running into the kicker, number 41. Defense hitting his kicking leg. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's a first down.
Well, Terrence Newman, the rookie first-round draft pick out of Kansas State, is called for running into the kicker. And it gives the Buccaneers, Darrell, an automatic first down.
And Terrence Newman really did everything well. He's going for the block point. He's not going towards the kicker. He just catches Martin Gramatica's kicking leg. He's waiting for somebody to come on his team and back him up.
Little trash talk from Martin. So an automatic first down. First and goal from the 9-yard line. Michael Pittman. Pittman gains 2 down to the 7. So on the Buccaneers' last possession in the red zone, they were hurt by penalties. 2 penalties. One on McFarland, the other on Pittman, this time on a field goal attempt. Thanks to a Cowboys penalty, the Bucs get an automatic first down.
Very deflating to your defensive group to have made the stand, hold them to 3 points, and then all of a sudden you're right back on the field trying to keep that touchdown off the board.
Todd Yoder, backup tight end, shifts into the backfield. On second and goal, Johnson rolling right, looking end zone. He throws, and it's a touchdown. Keyshawn Johnson came down inbounds for the Buccaneers touchdown, only his second this season. Keyshawn, who had great success playing for Bill Parcells in New York. In fact, this week you said Parcells the best coach he ever played for.
Well, one of the reasons that Coach Parcells likes him is he never gives up on the play. Look at Keyshawn going up against Terrence Newman. Terrence has got his back turned to him. Right now, he gives him a little move. He doesn't know where Brad Johnson is at that point, and Keyshawn does a nice job moving downhill along the sideline. He gives Brad Johnson an area to throw the ball where only Keyshawn can catch it.
The Buccaneers held to a field goal on their last drive due to penalties. And this time, they kick a field goal due to a Dallas penalty. Get to continue their drive and now lead 10-0.
Hey, Donovan! Surprise!
It's not my yard.
Oops. If you really want tickets to the game, just use your Visa. It's the card you know they'll take everywhere you want to be. Visa.
Hey, you!
Proud sponsor of the NFL.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? Because having the right car or truck makes all the difference. Sweetheart, your honey-do list just got a little bit longer. Sorry.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Buccaneers now leading the Cowboys 10-0 following the 7-yard touchdown pass from Brad Johnson to Keyshawn Johnson. Big play on the drive. The flea flicker, 48-yard pass from Johnson to Dilger, and then, of course, the penalty on Terrence Newman.
And we're still trying to find out. I don't know why that was an automatic first down, because the yardage came on a carry by Michael Pittman. It wasn't on a 5-yard penalty. Obviously, with 5 and 5, you're going to get the automatic first down. That ball should have been placed 5 yards, and then the chain should have come out to measure the distance.
Here's Derek Ross on the return. Ross brought down at the 26-yard line by Darian Barnes, 24 yards on the return. Next week, it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader beginning with America's #1 pregame show. Some of you will see the Saints and the Buccaneers, Redskins and Cowboys. In game 2 of our doubleheader, plus other regional action, coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on Fox.
I mean, roughing the kicker is going to be 15 yards and an automatic first down, but running into the kicker is just 5 yards. So with the 5-yard carry by Michael Pittman or the carry on first down, you have to walk off the 5 yards, and if it's close, you've got to bring those chains out and measure it.
Instead, the Buccaneers were given the automatic first down. Now the Cowboys start from their own 26-yard line. And the quick slant is caught by Joey Galloway. Gain of 7 out to the 33. Rondé Barber made the tackle.
The Dallas offense has got to settle down now, get back into a groove, get some plays, string some plays together, keep that defense off the field. This is a team that has really controlled the tempo of games. They're second in the NFL in time of possession, and what that means is their defense doesn't spend a whole lot of time on the field.
Monty Kiffin, Bucs defensive coordinator. On 2nd and 3. Potter, incomplete. Off the hands of the intended receiver, Antonio Bryant. Corey Ivy, the Buccaneers nickelback, on the coverage.
Starting to see some uncharacteristic things from this Dallas Cowboy football team this afternoon. Drop passes, some key penalties, the things that Bill Parcells has done a good job. You see right there how they're struggling on 3rd down. It's an opportunity for more snaps. It's an opportunity to extend the drive. It's an area that if you're going to be successful as an offense, you've got to be much more proficient than Dallas has been to this point.
Cowboys have won 5 in a row. 3rd down and 3. Potter takes off and has the first down out to the 38-yard line.
And that's a concern for any defense when you go up against a quarterback who's mobile in the pocket. You can have everything covered downfield, but if you're in a defensive call that leaves that middle of the field with a huge void in it, Quincy Carter has got to be able to exploit that. It's up to the defensive tackles in their rush lanes to be conscious of the fact that they've got a quarterback who has the ability to make first downs on his own if he doesn't like what's open downfield. Anthony McFarland and Warren Sapp have to not allow that middle of the field to become visible to Quincy Carter.
Tight end Campbell shifting on 1st and 10 from the 39. The gift to Hambrick. And Troy gains 4 out to the 43 before he was tackled by Shelton Quarles, setting up 2nd down and 6. Time winding down in the 2nd quarter. All the scoring here in the 2nd. Martin Gramatica, 24-yard field goal, and then a 7-yard touchdown pass from Brad Johnson to Keyshawn. Saw Hambrick exit to the sidelines. Richie Anderson, the lone back, and he takes the handoff on 2nd and 6. Went up over the top, and then a good second effort. Close to another first down as we hit the 2-minute warning. Here in Tampa, the 5-1 Cowboys trailing the 3-3 Bucs 10-0.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Wachovia. Together we can achieve uncommon things.
What can a train teach us about managing wealth? Everything must be properly connected. At Wachovia Wealth Management, we learn from the world around us and use our insights to lay out a clear path for you. Together, we can achieve uncommon results. Wachovia Wealth Management. Whether they wear a tool belt or a necktie, SBC's nearly 170,000 employees, many of them third generation, are just working people, working their tails off, just so you can get on the phone and ask what's for dinner, or say ship 5,000 widgets to my warehouse. Most people take the old dial tone for granted. We don't. We can't. Ordinary people, extraordinary job. SBC, going beyond the call.
Back in Tampa, 2 minutes to go, 2nd quarter. Kenny Albert with Darrell Johnston, Tony Siragusa downstairs. Buccaneers have taken advantage of a couple of key plays, the Phillips interception and then the flea flicker for their 10-0 lead.
And that's what this game is all about. It's taking advantage of the opportunities when they present themselves. And Dallas has not done that. They've actually contributed to a lot of Tampa Bay's success up until this point offensively in the first half. So it's going to be very important for them to put something positive together here, possibly get some points. But the worst thing is to give that ball back to Tampa Bay and give them an opportunity to get more points and build that momentum for coming out in the second half.
Total yards pretty close. 3rd down and 1. Rondé Barber coming up to make the stop, knocking Richie Anderson out of bounds after a loss of 2, forcing another Cowboys punt.
That has been the area in the first half that Dallas has really missed some opportunities. That's the third and short yardage situation that they've been into with an opportunity to extend a drive, and they've come up short. 2 negative runs before that in those situations. This one, a negative reception. So they're losing yards in these 3rd and short situations. That is going to be the one thing, the biggest thing that Bill Parcells will have to correct at halftime.
Overall, Cowboys just 2 for 8 on 3rd down. Going put a little too much on it. 54-yard punt. Net of just 34. So the Bucs will start from their own 20. Coming up on the Visa Halftime Report, scores and highlights from around the National Football League, and the Fox Sports Ticker has up to the second scores and stats. That's all coming up on the Visa Halftime Report. Buccaneers with 2 timeouts. They lost 1 on the unsuccessful challenge. Larry Allen on the Cowboys sidelines.
That last play looked as though both Larry Allen and Andre Garrard both a little bit shaken up. So both the guards, we've already had Gennaro DiNapoli go down at the center position with a sprained ankle. So the Dallas Cowboy offensive line getting a little banged up in this first half.
For the Bucs, Darrell, offensively, Brad Johnson, 6 of 11, 74 yards and a touchdown. Michael Pittman, 41 yards on the ground, averaging over 4 yards a carry. And here is Pittman on 1st down. Gains 2 after the 22-yard line. Dat Wynn made the tackle for the Cowboys.
John Gruden coming out, running the ball on 1st down. Seems content to go in at half, 6 with a 10-0 lead. We see no sense of urgency from Brad Johnson or this Tampa Bay offense.
Buccaneers letting the clock wind down. Second and 7. Keyshawn Johnson in motion. The pitch to Michael Pittman. And Pittman, solid run, picks up a 1st down, gains 10 out to the 33-yard line.
You know, it always happens like that. You run that first play, it doesn't break, it doesn't put you in a great position. You come back with the second one, you get the 1st down. Now all of a sudden, there is a sense of urgency from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but they've let almost a minute go off the clock.
Johnson's pass incomplete. Clock stops at 33 seconds.
I just feel you've got to come out with the decision already made from the sideline. Okay, we're going to run the first play. We're going to throw a screen. We may do something that's conservative in its play call, but if we have success, anything positive, let's get up on the ball. Let's see if we can get that critical 1st down that builds momentum in a 2-minute situation. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneer offense did nothing like that. And then all of a sudden you're trying to hurry, but you look back and you wasted so much time. You might as well now, at this point, the decision was made in how much time they spent in the huddle. Just get out of the 2-minute situation and go in at half up 10-0.
Johnson over the middle, complete for another 1st down. Carl Williams, gain of 13. And now the Buccaneers call timeout with 27 seconds remaining.
My name is Sergeant Mike Leeper. I'm currently assigned to Pakalua training area on the Big Island of Hawaii. My MOS is 51 Tango. It is Technical Engineering Supervisor. Right now, our job is to move 25,000 tons of rock to build a road. What's so tough about that? The rock is on a volcano.
4 soldiers. 5 tons of dynamite. 1 volcano. Fire it all! Mike's story continues. Only at GoArmy.com.
Buccaneers started this drive on their own 20 with 1:45. They had 2 timeouts. They wasted a good 30 to 40 seconds.
Closer to a minute. Closer to a minute after that first play, between that first play and then Michael Pittman's consecutive carry that got the first down that jump-started their thought process.
Johnson complete out at midfield to Aaron Stecker. And now the Bucs use their final timeout with 20 seconds remaining.
Taxi! Taxi!
8, 5, 2, 23.
Zero.
Hello, Moto.
Buccaneers have gained 30 yards. They're out at midfield with 20 seconds to go in the half. Coming up at halftime, the Visa Halftime Report. Scores and highlights, Fox Sports Ticker. That's coming up at the half. Buccaneers have used all of their timeouts. Johnson rolling right. Incomplete, intended for Keyshawn with 16 seconds. Buccaneers have scored all 10 of their points in this second quarter. Darryl, coming into the game, the Cowboys had dominated the second quarter. They had outscored their opponents 61-7.
Not the case this afternoon. It is a process of what their style of offense is. They come out, they go through the first quarter, they're searching, they're feeling everything out, they're trying to get into a rhythm, into a flow. By the second quarter, they've got established what they want to do with their game plan, but Tampa Bay's defense has taken that away from them this afternoon.
We're down at 5. Johnson, pump fakes, and then is taken down.
He fumbled it. You get it back?
Looks like Brad fell on it.
See the hit right here. He's got the ball out. Eric Abagu comes by. He does jar it loose. Happens to fall right back into Brad Johnson's arms.
And a sack in the final 10 seconds. They run the rest of the time off the clock. So that will do it for the first half here in Tampa.
It was just an interesting series for the Tampa Bay Buccaneer offense. I don't know what they were trying to do when they first got the ball back, and then at what point did they change their mind. But they were very fortunate right there that Brad Johnson fell right on top of that football. The Dallas Cowboys get that. They've got the opportunity to throw a Hail Mary into the end zone. So I think you've got to be more decisive when you take the field in that 2-minute situation.
Cowboys trail at halftime for the first time this season. Buccaneers 10, Cowboys nothing. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
The Magnum-powered Dakota and the Sporty Stratus. Or choose 0% APR financing for 60 months. Plus get Dodge's 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Don't wait. See your Dodge dealer today because the best values in America just got better.
New plant location? San Diego. San Diego. The ocean.
The sun.
The people.
A problem.
Problem?
Prices.
Big problem. Solution?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Good paper.
Best paper.
Pittsburgh paper. Perfect. Pursue the potential Pittsburgh property pronto. Let's eat.
The best values in America just got better because your Chrysler dealer has even better offers on our 2003 models, like 0% financing on Town & Country, or even bigger cash allowances, up to $5,000 when you include an extra $500 from the Lord of the Rings The Two Towers DVD. Or choose PT Cruiser with 0% financing or a newly increased $3,000 cash allowance. Plus, get our powertrain limited warranty. They're the best values in America, now even better at your Chrysler dealer.
The connection between wastewater and orange juice, Thursday at 10.
The Visa Halftime Report is brought to you by Visa. It's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
And welcome to the Visa Halftime Report. I'm Chris Rose, of course, joined by the Hall of Famer, the coach Marv Levy, and we hope you are enjoying the game you're watching right now. It has been a crazy day around the NFL. We start down in Tampa. Warren Sapp, kind of a bye week for him. He wasn't fined at all, but everything just fine defensively for a team that gave up more than 200 yards on the ground last week to San Francisco. Here they stuffed Troy Hamburg on 3rd and 1. Then they pick off Quincy Carter. That's Jermaine Phillips leading to a Martin Gramatica field goal. Later on in the second with the Bucs up 3-zip. Brad Johnson leading that efficient offense, rolling out and finding Keyshawn Johnson, his only catch of the day. Good enough for 6. And Tampa Bay up 10-0 at the break. Up in Minnesota, the Vikings looking to improve to 7-0, taking on the G-Men. Their first drive, Kerry Collins finding Ike Hilliard, moves right through his 4th TD catch of the year. The Giants were up 10-3 until Dante Culpepper finding Mr. Moss. 33 yards out, beats off Will Allen right there with the TD, and then they're down 13-10 at the break. 1,000th game in Steeler history, Jerome Bettis getting the start. Rams up 7-zip, though. Antoine Randall gets 1, and then 2 key blocks, one from Chris Hope, the other from Clark Higgins, returns it 84 yards for the score. We were tied at 7. That is until Arlen Harris, Mr. Bradshaw looks on, takes it in from 1 yard out. He's got almost 50 yards on the day on the ground. St. Louis up 14-7 at that point, but Tommy Maddox then finding Hines Ward. 9 yards, muscles his way into the end zone. We're tied at 14 at that point. Detroit and Chicago were scoreless, so Chris Chandler beats the blitz, finds Justin Gage from 21 yards out for the first score of his career. Paul Edinger has added a field goal, and it's 10-0 in that one.
This is the battle of the week, W-E-A-K, but the Bears are up.
In the meantime, the Panthers and the Saints, Stephen Davis held just 20 yards last week in that loss to Tennessee. He's more than 20 there. That would lead to a field goal. Then Aaron Brooksley, now you see me, now you don't, fumbles the ball. Eventually, Dan Morgan falls on it, and it leads to this. Stephen Davis again. More than 100 yards already in the first half. Now the Saints trying to come back in this one. Brooks this time hangs on to it until he finds Joe Horn. His 4th straight game with a TD reception. Down just 10-7 at that point. Joe Horn would be okay after that. Rudy Johnson getting the start for the injured Corey Dillon, who's inactive with a groin injury, and making the Seahawks pay. 18 yards and the touch right there. We're tied at 7. Now, last time these two teams played, John Kitna actually threw 3 touchdowns against Cincinnati. Here he finds the rookie out of Tennessee, Kelly Washington, his first touchdown catch of his career. And then Matt Hasselbeck to Sean Alexander, 100 total yards for him in the first half. He has plenty of family and friends looking on in that one, 17-14 at the break. Seahawks. Over in the AFC, Danny Cannell, his first start in 3 years. Not a good one so far. In New England, Tim Couch out, replaced by Kelly Holcomb. Couch out with a bum thumb. And Steve McNair with a TD toss, Eddie George a TD run as the Titans are leading the Jaguars. But back to the game down in Tampa. And John Gruden, of course, 6-0 right now after a Tampa loss, and he's pushing all the right buttons so far.
Well, so far he is. There's a half to go. Those are 2 great coaches locking horns, not to mention 2 very strong football teams. Tampa has stunned me to be just 3-3 at this point of the season. Dallas is struggling to move the ball. They're trying to do it on the ground. Probably the right way to approach it.
Yeah, Quincy Carter with just over 50 yards passing so far in the first half, so we'll see if they can right the ship in the second half. Of course, coming up your way right after this, we'll send you back to the second half of your game, and we'll see you a little bit later.
VISA. If you love the NFL, it's everywhere you want to be.
Last Monday, we convinced a group of European women that this penniless cowboy was worth $80 million in oil. This Monday, Joe finally meets the women face to face.
I would like to find my Prince Charming.
And while some may be after his fortune, others hope for true love.
All the girls really like you.
David seems to be totally honest and open.
But how will they feel when they find out they've been deceived?
I hate you! I hate you!
I'm having a hard time doing this. The next Joe Millionaire at 8/7 Central, Fox Monday.
Fox Wednesday, the new season of That 70s Show begins. Donna and Eric may be leaving.
I'm not gonna miss you two slobbering all over each other like fat girls in a house with free meat.
But some things...
Yeah, I was sort of impetuous, maybe a little rash.
Never change.
Hyde says that he was sort of infectious and he has a rash.
I don't know what you heard, but this show ain't free.
You're here, which means that you want to be with her. And I don't blame you, because with that rash, you ain't got a whole lot of choices.
That 70s Show, the season premiere, this Wednesday at 8/7 Central on Fox.
This is Roy Williams of the Dallas Cowboys. Roy helps United Way by volunteering in his community to improve people's lives. He knows what matters. Today, he's teaching kids important lessons for life.
Now remember, these guys are like your linemen, and she is your tailback. And most importantly, this is a quarterback, protected at all costs.
So is this a Hail Mary?
No, that would be checkmate.
First half is all said and done here in Tampa, where the Buccaneers lead the Cowboys 10-0. First half stats and highlights coming up.
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
Deciding on a Toyota SUV is easy.
I thought you were going to pick one.
Deciding on which one is not. Now get $1,000 cash back on the refined 2003 Toyota Highlander.
Ask a child where they'd like to go on vacation, and most likely it's the same place you'd like to go. A place where families can make memories together. A place where magic happens every day. And no one can take you there like Alamo, the official rental car of Walt Disney World Resort. There are over 4 million miles of roads in Alamo Country, and with values like this, they're easy to explore. Alamo, the official rental car of the American vacation.
The fast C230 sports sedan with a supercharged compressor engine. To catch one, you gotta be in one.
Introducing the 2004 Chevy Silverado, now available with Power Packs. Get this Silverado extended cab with the light-duty Power Pack, Vortec V8 heavy-duty trailering, plus the Safe and Sound Power Pack, bucket seats, Bose sound system, and more. Combine Power Pack savings with a Florida discount and cash back for a total value of $5,500 on select models. And it's powerful stuff. Silverado, now available with Power Packs. See your Southern Chevy dealer today.
I'm Derek Brooks, and you're watching The Bucks on Fox 13.
get set for the second half here in Tampa. Kenny Albert with Darryl Johnston and Tony Siragusa. Darryl, the Cowboys find themselves in a very unfamiliar position for the first time all season. They trail at halftime.
And they played very poorly in the second quarter. That has been their strongest quarter in the first half. So it will be interesting to see how they respond. Now, last week against Detroit, they came out and did not play early in the football game. They had a fumble that was returned for a touchdown. They struggled on the offensive side of the ball, but they got that turned around actually 28-7 at half. Bill Parcells' big concern is how does his team respond as we get later into the game. 10-0 going into the second half. He's going to find something out about his football team.
How about Tampa Bay? They have not yet won at home this season. They started slow and then picked up the pace in the second quarter.
They had a great second quarter, and a lot of the things were opportunities that the Dallas Cowboys were giving to them. So two very different quarters in that first half. Tampa Bay took advantage of their opportunities. The Dallas Cowboys did not.
Buccaneers, as is pointed out on every telecast, every season, have never returned a kickoff for a touchdown.
It's amazing when you think of it, though.
What do you think will happen when they finally do it?
Everybody's going to throw away that graphic.
Aaron Stecker stops 73 yards shy. As we say hello once again to Tony.
What's up, guys? The Dallas Cowboys at halftime talked a little bit about sticking with the game plan, trying to establish the run. But at some point, they're going to have to try and open it up. Down by 10 points, very unfamiliar area for them. Can't wait to see what happens.
You just wonder why it has taken this long, and we saw a little bit of it the opening drive of the second quarter. They got into the passing game, used some play action, but they never really came back to it. They seemed content to try and keep this game close and get into the second half, but we talked about it just a few minutes ago. That was a concern about how they would respond.
Michael Pittman on first down, spins across the 30 out to the 33-yard line, gain of 6 before he was tackled by second-year free safety Roy Williams, setting up second down and 4.
And that guy is going to be a future Hall of Famer. I really feel that Roy Williams, he could at some point possibly be mentioned with a guy named Ronnie Lott.
Wow.
And when you're talking about people in that expertise of their position, that style of play, I really think that Roy Williams has the potential to be as good as Ronnie Lott. He is a huge, fast, physical safety.
Here's Stecker looking to cut it back inside, and we have seen Ronnie Lott's son, Ryan Neese, in on a number of plays, starting linebacker for the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Well, Ronnie was a guy that you had to account for wherever he was on the football field. You found out where number 42 was, and just a great team leader and a great guy when you get a chance to meet him. And to be talking about a player that could reach into his class is saying an awful lot.
Look at Ryan Neese, son of Hall of Famer Ronnie Lott.
Got him.
Third down and 3. Bucks have to get to the 37 for a first down. Johnson lobbing one up for Pittman, who makes the catch, and 2 flags. Dexter Coakley on the coverage. Pittman into Cowboys territory, 26-yard pass play.
Also got a flag back in the pocket.
So this one's coming back. 3 flags on the play.
Dexter Coakley just launching out, giving everything he's got. He gets there a little bit early. An aggressive play call by John Gruden on 3rd and 3.
There are 2 fouls on the play, and they will offset. Holding, 60, offense, pass interference, number 52 on the defense, penalties offset, replay 3rd down.
Cozy Coleman, the right guard, called for holding. John Gruden not very happy, to say the least.
I thought it was funny when we talked to Brad Johnson, and you see a different personality of John Gruden on the broadcast. He's always angry. He's got all these facial expressions, and Brad says once you break through all that and you get to really know him, he's actually a great guy. But very, very good to us, very open in his discussions. But yeah, he's got that persona from afar that's kind of intimidating.
Johnson on 3rd and 3. Pass was high. Intended for Carl Williams, another flag. And Brad also told us initially, when I came over to the sidelines, I would not look at John. I would listen to him, but I didn't want to see what kind of expressions he was using.
Ball was thrown already in the air. 4th down.
Well, you've seen a lot of them. And, yeah, that's one of the things. I mean, you know, as a player, when you've made a mistake and you're coming off to the side, you don't have to have anybody tell you what you did wrong. You already know that. And to be coming over and seeing one of his classic faces of disgust in what just happened is not the one thing you want to see. So come over, keep your head down, don't make eye contact, and just listen to what he has to say.
Tom Tupa back at his own 20. Joey Galloway and single safety for the Cowboys.
Line drive.
Taken at the 21 by Galloway. Returning punts for the first time this season. 7-yard return out to the 28. Hank Pochi in his first game with the Bucs made the tackle.
Enter Southwest Airlines, take your team to the Super Bowl sweepstakes, and you could win a trip to the Super Bowl for you and 10 friends.
Ooh, how'd he make the list?
Brother-in-law.
Naturally.
Enter at southwest.com/Super Bowl.
There are no gold medals for the 4x4 that masters Arctic snow. There are no championship games for fording muddy water. And there are no finish lines for the one that makes it over stacks of treacherous boulders. So why do we make sure every Jeep 4x4 is trail rated to such strict standards of capability? Perhaps the better question is, why doesn't everyone else? If it's not trail rated, it's not a Jeep 4x4.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Cowboys trailing 10-0. Quincy Carter has been in this situation before in this stadium. Only time he played here at Raymond James Stadium as a sophomore at Georgia, the Outback Bowl, Darryl. Georgia trailed Purdue 25-0. Came back to win the game behind Quincy Carter, 28-25. Cowboys trailing 10-0, starting from their own 28-yard line. Carter complete. Richie Anderson out of the backfield. And Anderson picks up the first down, gain of 11, out to the 39.
And that's what the Tampa Bay defense is designed to do. It's not going to give up the big plays when they play this style discipline the way that Monty Kiffin has taught them. You're going to have to check the ball down. You're going to have to be patient. What it's all built around is the theory that an offense can't go 10, 12, 14 plays without putting themselves in a position with a penalty, with a negative play to sustain that drive. And what has been frustrating for them this year is they've given up those big plays that you never saw those before this year. And that is the one area that's been a concern for everybody on the defense.
Now the Bucs have given up leads. You think back to that Indianapolis game on Monday night. They led by 21 with just over 5 minutes remaining as Carter is taken down. Warren Sapp loses his helmet, but picks up his 3rd sack of the season.
Well, he's got to get over to the sideline and get to the equipment guy. That's the second time that's come off today, but on both occasions, Warren Sapp has not stopped, and he's going up against Larry Allen right there. What a great counter. He gets Larry leaning out to his left and then rips across. Larry pops his helmet off, and Warren doesn't miss a beat. And that's the thing. Tony, tell him about the counters that you saw on that tape. How many moves he can throw at you in a short amount of time.
Unbelievable. But I want to talk a little bit about Warren Sapp. He loves when his helmet comes off. That guy wants to be on TV worse than you do, Moose.
Pass is picked off by Rondé Barber. Second Buccaneers interception of the afternoon. Second pick for Barber, and he returns it 24 yards.
One of the areas that Bill Parcells was not happy with the play last week on the offensive side of the ball were things he called heaves by Quincy Carter, throwing the ball into areas where they shouldn't be. They're right there. There is no reason to throw that ball. There are 3 Tampa Bay defenders. Rondé Barber sits on it. He breaks across the face. You've got him right there. And then there's 2 other players coming in on the play. There was no reason for Quincy Carter to throw that ball.
Quincy Carter threw only 5 interceptions over the first 6 games. He's been picked off twice today. Buccaneers with terrific field position. They start from the Cowboys 21. Aaron Stecker looks to turn the corner and is taken out of bounds at the 15-yard line, gain of 6.
The defense being called on again on a short field. And it seems as though today everything that the Cowboys have done well up until this point this season, they're not getting done. We've seen some drop passes.
By Phillips. Buccaneers brought her all the way down to the 1, but were held to a field goal following a penalty. Looking to capitalize following the Barber pick. Here's Pittman. And Michael Pittman has a first down at the Cowboys' 10-yard line.
And you can just see the confidence that this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team has gained since that first quarter. They come out of the game, started off very slowly, but since that second quarter, they go in at halftime. They maintain their momentum. They come out, make a big play on the defensive side of the ball, and you can see the offensive line now starting to take control of the line of scrimmage.
Darrell, under John Gruden, this is second season. Buccaneers have never lost back-to-back games. This year, they've alternated wins and losses over the first 6. Following a loss, Gruden's Bucs win their next game by an average of 18 points. From the 10, Pittman. Gains 2 down to the 8-yard line. Tony, you know what it's like to try and defend down by the goal line?
I'll tell you what, when you get in the red zone, that's when you cannot make a mistake. A team like this, you have to go out there and you have to do your job and not worry about everything else that's going on around you.
We saw in the first half when Tampa Bay got down into the red zone, actually penalties, things within their control that forced them to kick field goals and took away the opportunity for a touchdown.
Second and goal from the 8. Off the play fake. Johnson can't find anyone, and he throws it away.
It's just such a smart play by Brad Johnson. He knows that there's nobody open. He knows that he can't fit a ball in this situation. You just heard Tony talk about the fact that you can't make mistakes in the red zone. He's outside the pocket. He knows he can just throw the ball out of bounds, beyond the line of scrimmage, get back on third down, take another shot. Those are the things that you see from the veteran guys. And you know, it's amazing to me that we don't talk more about Brad Johnson. When you look at what he's accomplished over the last year and a half here in Tampa Bay, his stats are extremely impressive.
I agree. He's brought 3 teams to the playoffs, gone to a couple of Pro Bowls, won the Super Bowl. Third and goal. Johnson throws it out of the end zone.
You know, he's always too slow. He's not mobile enough. He doesn't have the arm to make the throws that some of the quarterbacks have. Yet he just seems to find a way to get it done. And what they did last year with John Gruden coming in late in the offseason to get the head job and to come in and be able to do what they did offensively, hang in there, get better and better week after week, month after month, and win the Super Bowl in your head coach's first season, it is amazing. And to watch how all of a sudden Brad Johnson got the idea of the plan and was able to execute it more efficiently from week to week.
This a 26-yard attempt. Gramatica hit from 24 earlier. 2 for the holder. Gramatica's kick is good. So for the second time following a turnover, Cowboys hold the Bucs to 3 instead of 7.
Maybe I don't own a fancy building or a big shipping department yet. But Brown still takes my business seriously. I can print labels, track shipments, order a pickup right from here. And with the time I save, I can build my business. Maybe I'm not exactly part of the limousine set, but I have a driver.
Small business shipping, synchronized. UPS, what can Brown do for you?
Taco Bell's Zesty Chicken Bowl. Grilled all-white meat chicken, seasoned rice, cheese, lettuce, and Fiesta salsa. Made right when you order it. For a fresh taste that's hard to top. Show off. For fresh-made taste, think outside the bun.
Infrastructure. Millions of miles of voice and data lines out there. Who maintains all that? Well, in a large part of this country, SBC does. Why SBC? Seemed only right since we built it in the first place. Whatever it takes, period. SBC. Going beyond the call.
Someone's threatening to release a virus here in LA.
Fox Tuesday. The damage to this country, sir, would be catastrophic. Nothing spreads faster than fear. The most suspenseful series on television is back. Get out of the way! Move! For the most terrifying day yet. Get rid of it! No!
They found a body that's been infected.
24 premieres this Tuesday at 9, 8 Central on Fox. Presented without commercial interruption by the next Ford F-150.
I don't understand what everybody's talking about, an intimidating face. This looks like a nice, sweet, beautiful, charming kid. A couple freckles. I mean, I would go up to this guy and ask him advice. I don't understand what these people are having all these problems with. It's crazy.
Obviously didn't see the movie.
No. John Gruden, affectionately known as Chucky, here in the Tampa area. His Buccaneers out to a 13-0 lead. Derrick Ross. Ross out of bounds at the 21-yard line.
There are no gold medals for the 4x4 that masters Arctic snow. There are no championship games for fording muddy water. And there are no finish lines for the one that makes it over stacks of treacherous boulders. So why do we make sure every Jeep 4x4 is trail rated to such strict standards of capability? Perhaps the better question is, why doesn't everyone else? If it's not trail rated, it's not a Jeep 4x4.
Do you know what happened to Neo?
All I can do is tell you that your friend needs your help. He needs all our help.
Here we go.
As long as there is a single breath in his body, he will never give up. And neither can we.
We know what has to be done.
If she has to, she'll kill every one of us.
Believe it.
The Matrix Revolutions. Rated R. Starts Wednesday, November 5th.
Hey, Ricky, Bill from down the block. Saw your dog got out. Anyway, I chased him about a block down. Took a header into a thorn bush. You know what? I'm scratched up, but okay. Don't worry about me. The dog is what's important.
I don't have a dog.
Whoops. If you really want tickets to the game, just use your Visa. It's the card you know they'll take everywhere you want to be. Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL.
Next Sunday, when Malcolm's family hits Las Vegas, Vegas hits back. David Cassidy guest stars.
Just make her look. You mean compared to his?
On the season premiere of Malcolm.
No song for you. Pass him off.
1 week from tonight on Fox.
Early third quarter, Buccaneers leading 13-0. Cowboys only 66 yards in the air. And you have to give credit to this Buccaneers secondary without Lynch, without Kelly. A couple of youngsters who have not seen much action. They've done a nice job. Pass deflected at the line, 2nd and 10. Coming up.
Well, the big thing last week was you weren't seeing the Buccaneers defense play their style of defense. And this afternoon, it has been totally different. And the big plays have not been there. The discipline has been there. And you mentioned it, Kenny. I mean, the big talk coming into this was all the injuries in the secondary, and yet that is the group that is really playing the best so far. They've created the 2 interceptions, and Dallas has not been able to get anything over the top. Monty Kiffin said he would put those guys in a position to be successful, and he has done that this afternoon.
Anderson short game. Look at Phillips, who had started only 2 games in his career. He had an interception, 41-yard return. Tim Wansley making his first career start. He was burned by Marvin Harrison in that Monday night game. He's played well today.
They did a great job early in the week in Tampa Bay of not letting it become a distraction before it could become an excuse. They nipped it in the bud early. Hey, yeah, we got guys banged up, but that's happening everywhere. This is our system. This is how we play it. We expect the guys who are backups to be able to come in and fill those roles. We're not changing anything.
Cowboys spreading the field. 3rd down and 8. They have to get to the 31 to move the chains. And they do. First catch of the day for the rookie tight end out of Tennessee, Jason Witten. Gain of 15 yards on the play.
And there's a tough guy for you right there. He's playing with a broken jaw that happened a couple of weeks ago. And you know that every time he gets hit, he's feeling that. And it takes a lot to come onto the field when you know you're not 100%, when you know every time that you block with your helmet, when you take a shot in the secondary, that you're going to feel that injury.
A jaw broken in a game against Arizona, hit by Ronald McKinnon, Cardinals middle linebacker. 1st and 10, 38-yard line. Off the play fake to Anderson. Potter was in trouble. Looked to dump it off to Anderson, but could not make the connection.
Dallas is trying to run a screen, but Chartrick Darby comes around the outside. Richie Cunningham tries to get him. Here he is. He's going to loop all the way up to the outside. They don't give him shoved out enough. Richie tries to slow him down, but he's still able to affect the throw of Quincy Carter. Good individual effort by Chartrick Darby.
You guys are still thinking about some of those old kickers. Richie Cunningham, one of the many kickers that have...
I always do that when I have these guys with Richie Anderson. Played with Richie Cunningham, was a big fan of Happy Days growing up.
That's right. Potter. Nearly intercepted by Derek Brooks.
And now you know that Quincy's pressing a little bit right now at this point, because one of the things that he talked to us about was the corners and the safeties are always going to be in certain positions, but I've got to worry about Derek Brooks and Shelton Quarles because they will read my eyes, and if I'm not careful, I can lead them right to where I'm throwing the ball. I can't stare down my receiver. The pressure right there, all of a sudden he knows he has to get away with the ball has to come out. He starts to stare at him. Derek Brooks is the best in the league at watching the eyes of the quarterback and making a break on the ball.
3rd down and 10. Cowboys have to get to the 48. Play action. Carter in trouble. Down he goes. Lost the football. Ellis Wims with his 2nd sack of the season. 3rd Buccaneers sack today. Hambrick recovered. Cowboys forced to punt.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are raising their level of play right now, and the Dallas Cowboys are not responding. Ellis Wims comes all the way around the right side, gets a big hit. Troy Hambrick, very good job of getting in there and getting that football right before one of the defensive linemen from Tampa Bay could fall on it.
Toby Goins' 5th punt of the day. Tim Wansley back in his own 25. Bouncing out of bounds at the 28-yard line.
This wedding gift from my husband's aunt. But I don't need a monkey lamp. I was extremely torn. I didn't know whether I should just keep the lamp or return it and risk hurting her feelings. So I asked myself, what would Jared do?
I would return the lamp. She really just wants you to be happy. Then I'd get a red wine vinaigrette club.
So, where's the lamp?
The Red Wine Vinaigrette Club from Subway. Eat fresh.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Friendly nonstop service all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. By Subway, good so you don't always have to be. Subway, eat fresh. By the most respected, honored, and heroic 4x4s out there. Only in a Jeep 4x4. And by Visa. If you love the NFL, it's everywhere you want to be.
Darryl, you and I and Tony were in Buffalo for the Redskins and Bills. I didn't see any volleyball matches up in Buffalo.
No, not a lot of beaches to go string up a volleyball net in Buffalo.
Beautiful afternoon here in Tampa. Buccaneers 0-2 at home, leading 13-0. Pittman out to the 31 before he's forced back. Gain of 3 on the play. Lynn Scott made the tackle.
You take a look at that bench right there, and you can see leaving the field after that last series that the sack to the quarterback, they had pressure during that entire series, and you could see the enthusiasm on the Tampa Bay side, and Dallas walked off with their heads down. Bill Parcells wondered how his team would respond as the game progressed later if they were behind him, and right now I know they're not reacting the way he would hope.
Bill told us yesterday we haven't been punched in the mouth yet. Cowboys out to a 5-1 start. Lost their opener to Atlanta and have won 5 in a row. Caught at midfield by Keenan McCardell. Penalty marker as McCardell takes it down to the Cowboys 45. 23-yard pass play. And the flag is against Dallas.
Brad Johnson comes up to the line of scrimmage. Darren Woodson drops down into the box, becomes the 8th guy. He audibles at the line of scrimmage and goes for a big play. So this half, Tampa Bay has been very aggressive in their play calling in critical situations.
Holding. 41 defense. That penalty has declined. Result of the play, first down.
We saw earlier this half in a 3rd and 3 situation where they threw a long ball with Michael Pittman against Dexter Coakley, but here's your safety, comes down in here. You've got the audible, and they're doing an out and up with Keenan McCardell on the outside. So there has been a shift in the play calling philosophy of John Gruden in the second half.
From the Cowboys 45, the pitch to Pittman. And Pittman gains 4 down to the 41-yard line. 5.5 to go, 3rd quarter from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Kenny Albert with Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa. Tampa Bay Buccaneers leading the Dallas Cowboys by the score of 13-0. 76 yards on the ground so far for Pittman.
One of the things that, as they watched film, that Brad Johnson talked to us about was he didn't really feel that anybody had attacked Dallas's defense. They had played well to stop people, but they really were never under pressure or under attack from the opposition's offense. That seems to be their MO this half.
Off the play fake. Pass caught by the fullback, Jameel Cook. His 8th reception of the season. Down to the 39, about 4 yards shy of the marker.
And there's a guy who breaks his hand during the practice week and comes out here and has played a great game, because we have yet to call anybody going up against Ruben Oben's number. So it's just amazing what these guys are able to do. You know, put stuff out of their mind, go out there, execute their assignments, playing through the pain.
Broke his hand on Thursday. Was right back out in practice on Friday. Penalty markers. A correction, a timeout called by Johnson with the play clock winding down.
LeBron James making his much-awaited NBA debut. Jerry, boy, you talk about pressure. Is he going to be able to handle it? Can he handle it? We just don't know. LeBron takes the ball for the first time, guarded by Bibby. LeBron, 18 years of age. surveying the floor.
Jerry, what is going on?
I don't know.
Oh, this is good. You talk about not being able to handle the pressure.
I have never seen anything like this before.
Come on, young fella.
That's funny. I want to thank you guys for coming out. Oh, Jamie, why don't you tell us what's new in IT?
Gotta keep it short.
Oh, well, we just implemented DFS and a new SAN. And also we enabled shadow copy for shared folders on our file servers. It enables users to get back lost documents on their own without calling IT. And it'll save us hundreds of thousands of dollars, which...
It'll do what?
With new Windows Server 2003, you can do more with less.
Automated system recovery.
That's really good. Martin Gramatica of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers helps United Way by volunteering in his community, teaching valuable skills to kids.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Microsoft. Your potential, our passion.
Buccaneers leading the Cowboys 13-0. Well, to stop a weapon that has no cure, you need a man who knows no limits. Tuesday, Kiefer Sutherland returns with a new season of 24, presented without commercial interruption by the next Ford F-150. That's the season premiere of 24, Tuesday, right here on Fox. Buccaneers today, 0 for 8 on third down. This is 3rd and 4. Bucks have to get to the 35. And they do. But there is a flag. Keenan McCardell with the reception, a gain of 9. It's against the Cowboys.
Bold men on defense. That penalty is declined. The result of the play, first down.
Well, that's just a lack of concentration by the Dallas Cowboys defense. That was after a timeout that Tampa Bay had just called on the previous play. So they had all the time in the world to get everything situated. And what we've seen during the course of this football game today are things that we haven't seen from the Dallas Cowboys during their 5-game winning streak. There's things that are within their control that they're not getting accomplished, and they're allowing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to extend drives to give them opportunities. You can't do that to a championship caliber football team.
Well, the Bucs couldn't pick up a first down with 11 men on the field, yet they're 1 for 1 going up against 12 Cowboys. On first down, Pittman, no gain. Willie Blade made the tackle.
Yeah. It's amazing, guys, how I'm standing here watching the Dallas Cowboys, how flat they are right now. I'll tell you what, if they don't get their head screwed on right, we're going to be witnessing an ass whooping right here. Tampa Bay is getting momentum. The offense is feeding off the defense's momentum. It's really not a good sight right now for the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, the big thing, the defense has been on the field so much this game. I mean, they're not used to being out there in an extended afternoon. And with the heat here, this is something brand new for them. They're going to wear it down here pretty quick.
Seems like they're wore down already now.
Oh. Johnson's pass nearly picked off by the former Buck, Al Singleton. Darryl, I wish Tony told us what he really felt.
Yeah, he's got to be a little bit more honest and up front when he's got stuff down there.
Sorry.
Not animated enough.
It just gets me pissed, man. You see, you have an opportunity to go and play the world champions. I mean, everybody wants this opportunity. You're 5-1. Everybody's talking about you. Show us something, man. You can't. It's the third quarter. You got 3 minutes left, and this is the time where you got to go and suck it up. This is where Bill Parcells, guys go and make a difference, and I don't see that here today.
Now 3rd down and 10. Aaron Stecker, as the Bucs keep it on the ground, and Stecker loses 2 yards. That win first Cowboy in on the tackle, so John Gruden sends out the field goal unit. Martin Gramatica has already connected twice today from 24 and 26.
Well, nobody has really given the Dallas Cowboys credit for what they've accomplished up until this point. Today was an opportunity for them to go out and make a statement across the NFL that we are for real. You know, we beat a team, you know, coming off a loss, something that had never happened in a year and a half. And we heard the audio at the beginning of the game. You know, we got to go out there and take it. You know, these are the champions. And I agree with Tony. We're not seeing them rise to that level as of yet.
50-yard attempt by Gramatica. It is straight through. Gramatica's career long 55. He connects here from 50, extending the Buccaneers lead to 16-0. Gramatica's longest field goal of the season. 3 for 3 today after coming in just 3 of 7. Well, next week it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader beginning with America's #1 pregame show. Many of you will see the Buccaneers and the Saints, followed by the Redskins and the Cowboys, plus other regional action. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, next Sunday on Fox. And for those of you down in Dallas, game against the Redskins next week, originally scheduled for a noon kickoff Dallas time, will now be a 3:15 start. Second game of the Fox doubleheader, Cowboys and Redskins, next Sunday on Fox, as the Cowboys will play 4 of their next 5 at home. Buccaneers beginning a stretch today